Welcome to all the classic car enthusiasts, especially the Mini guys. Yeah, another just a quick one. I've put them back on the original rims. I know exactly what the problem is now. I did try. Somebody mentioned it, and I did try the fin, the aluminium fin drum on the other side, and although it was catching, it was a lot better. And I've realised what it is. The backing plates on here are the original ones, and we sandblasted them, and so there must be very slight. The problem with these back plates is they can easily get damaged if people pinch on them, and sometimes they're not quite perfectly round and so on. I think that's what's causing the problem. And what I'm going to do after this section, I'm going to take you upstairs and show you the radius arms for this second Mini Cooper. And they have brand new backing plates on them, and you can hear there's no problem. So it's obviously the profile is not right, or it's catching somewhere metal to metal. So that's mainly the problem. We've got a poltergeist in there, it's a noise. Yeah, so as I said, you can see that there's no issues there with it. What I'm going to do now is I'll see about taking these back plates off and maybe getting new ones for it. And maybe I should have done that in the first place. It's not a major deal to take it apart. It's a reasonably quick job. But I have to move the car off here tomorrow, so and I'll show you the reason why. I basically need to have the ramp cleared, because above the ramp, which I'll show you in a second, is the roof for the Land Rover, which I've sold on. Anyway, but a couple of things that came up was I had a comment. There was actually two comments about this bumper. Now, I'm not suggesting for a minute you do it exactly the way I said. I'm no expert in this. I'm just a guy that likes working on the cars and restoring them. And they were talking about using rubber in between, which is a good idea. There's quite a few things I've mounted and I've put rubber on it, like for instance the faucet pump. I built my own rubber joints to stop it vibrating and so on. And they're right. I mean, obviously, if you put metal against metal, especially on new paint work, it's gonna dig in and probably scratch. So it would be better to put a piece of rubber in between it, but not to a point where the rubber is going to make this thing not solid, because that will make a noise as well. The point I was trying to basically get over was just make sure you have a gap in it, because they do fit particularly well, especially when you've got a new rear valance on it. And this has a new back floor as well, so everything's nice and straight, and it just sits. And like I said, it's like a dam. You can actually see the water sitting in it. I was soaking it up when we washed the car a few times. Anyway, that being said, these are just some thoughts and some ideas, things that are coming up for me. So if they're not exactly, by all means make a comment, and it's a good point. I mean, obviously using rubber against it would be a smarter idea and a better idea, and than metal to metal. But in some things you can't do that, and so then you have to think about how you're going to do it, or maybe paint them in rubberized paint or something like that. Maybe the washer. But one other point that was brought up was with the brand new bumper. These are very thin, these bumpers, and it's a real good idea to put something inside them. There is a rubberized, or it's like a grease rubberized paint that goes in them, and they use it for cables on cable cars and stuff, and it's really good stuff. So I'm thinking about doing that, because they rot very easily. They are very reasonably cheap, but they do rot out. So I'll show you a bit down here and a bit upstairs of some of the parts we've got for this second Mini. These are some of the parts that are going to go with the Land Rover, which I've sold on, as I mentioned. There's new doors there, new door tops, some floors and a few bits and pieces. And then up here, the gentleman's name's Rudy, he lives not far from me. So there's the roof of the 109. It's a long wheelbase, and there's side panels and the rear door for it up there. So that's what we're going to move tomorrow. I think he's bringing a Sprinter Mercedes, which I'll film tomorrow, and I'll show you upstairs now. Okay, so this is the upstairs of the garage. We'll start to put all the parts up here now. It's a bit of a mess at the moment, but yeah. And this basically is a woodwork area. Well, not with that stuff, but it's a woodwork area I'm trying to use. So, just to let you see some of the mini bits. So there's a new subframe. There's the new exhaust. There's a dash there. It's a left-hand drive steering. There's loads of parts here. This is the stuff that will be going to Max. These are the kits. A double timing chain system. What do they call it? It's like twin timing gear set. Doing the adjustment. There's a double chain on them. It's the new Kent cam, and this is the we talked about before. This is the oil pickup, which goes into the centre of the gearbox. Sorry, I'll show you here. You can see that's it there, and that goes right in the centre, so you never get any lack of oil to the engine when you're going around a corner, heavy bend or whatever. Very difficult to put in though, because you've got to take all the gear shaft out, the main gear out to actually slip it underneath. You can't just slide it underneath. So there you go. Right, so it's all the parts for this Mini, the black one, and this is a hub that's already done. It's already it's had new bushes in it. It's been reamed. Max has got all that stuff, and you can hear even that sitting on its side. It's not even got a nut in it, but you can hear. No problem at all. But they're brand new, as you can see. It's a brand new backing plate. So I think the only thing that wasn't new in there is that adjuster. I think that was cleaned up. Like I say, you can hear it's there. It sounds rough, but it's good. And that one there's the same. So yeah, this is our little kind of miniature parts department, if you like. It's all the mini gear, and there'll be a lot more of it once the other two minis. What's that say? Tax paid. Huh. Yeah, there'll be a lot more of it with the other two minis and all the spares. So I don't know. I think what we'll do is wait until I've got some this one out of the way, and then start bringing the other stuff over. So there we are. Yeah. So. Yeah, I guess that's it.